Today, my guest is Sol Abrams, Chief Executive, Retail Insurance at Old Mutual Insure, and the man who played a pivotal role in the creation of the Graduate Broker Development Program. This initiative is not just shaping future brokers, but actively transforming the face of South Africa's insurance industry. With the first cohort recently graduating and a new group of 20 recruits already underway, the program is proving to be a powerful investment in the industry's future. And I was at the launch and it was a fantastic event. Thank you, Sol, for making time for me. I know life is rushed. So, Sol,
No, absolute pleasure.
What inspired the creation of the Graduate Broker Development Program, and how does it align with Old Mutual Insure's broader transformation strategy?
Yeah, thanks, Rianet. It's great to be here. Maybe a story to start with. So when I joined the insurance industry, or Old Mutual Insure, it was known as Mutual and Federal back in the day.
That's right.
And everyone told me that Mutual and Federal was the school of insurance back in the day. So how does that play out today? I visit a fair number of brokers a month or a year, and there's always a number of employees that used to work at Mutual and Federal.
Oh, wow.
And that's where the term school of insurance comes from. And I think, that's probably part of the inspiration, but this program really comes from a simple but urgent need. Our industry needs more young professionals who are more representative from a look and feel of South Africa, but we need youngsters in the industry. Our broker force is aging, and Old Mutual Insure, or bigger Old Mutual Group, we realized that if we truly wanted to transform and in a sustainable manner in this industry, we couldn't just wait for it to happen organically, hoping one or two youngsters join the industry. We thought, let's actually build it for ourselves, for the industry. So the graduate program was born out of that vision. It's a deliberate part of our broker transformation strategy, and designed to empower young people, giving them access to real capability in the industry. Listen, we need fresh energy, diversity, and it's not just we're not just saying it, right? It's an investment in the future of our insurance industry. And you guys know Old Mutual Insure and Old Mutual Limited, we're all about intermediated, advisor-led.
Yes.
So that's what where the vision comes from.
But this skill and initiative is more about more than just skills development. It's about meaningful change. So what kind of change do you hope to see in the broking landscape as a result of this?
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to see an industry that reflects South Africa, right? Diverse, dynamic, and representative. So broking should feel open, exciting, and accessible to young people from all backgrounds. That kind of change we're driving in both demographics, from an age and race perspective, but also cultural, right? We want more Black and female brokers, building client relationships, leading teams, shaping strategy. These are important factors to consider, right? So we also want to shift the perception and show that broking is not just a dull industry. We want that it to be considered a traditional career opportunity, which it was back in the day. It's a modern entrepreneurial space with purpose. It really is. And with all the data and tech coming out, I think a younger broker force will keep our intermediated industry alive and kicking for many decades to come. So that's the real transformation, when people see opportunity and where they didn't see it previously. Yeah.
How does this program prepare graduates for the realities of working in the broking environment, particularly in balancing client relationships, compliance, and technical insurance knowledge? We all know how big the job of the broker is.
Yeah, it's a massive job. It's not something, listen, we're not sitting here going, quick training and you're a broker. We want to kickstart these youngsters on a journey, right? We want to give them the passion for it, and then they'll go and earn the experience out in the market. But we designed the program to be practical from day one. Massive technical component. Old Mutual Insure has a lot of technical leaders, from underwriting, from a reinsurance perspective, from a policy servicing perspective, claims. You name the value chain, we've got experience. So we've made that a big emphasis. But we also wanted to focus on the human side of broking, because that's what it's about. Yes, you need the knowledge, but the knowledge without the the ability to connect emotionally with a client,
Having
building
the
trust,
empathy.
empathy, absolutely. You took the words out of my mouth. So communicating clearly, making ethical decisions, right? A big part of being a broker is about that
Yeah.
ethical side of things, right? So we're trying to bring all of this together. So our graduates spend time in the field with experienced individuals in our business, learning how to manage relationships, navigating the pressure of the job, because especially in the short-term insurance industry, things happen
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
Be it a car accident, a burst pipe, a
Yeah.
geyser that's not working, or a massive fire in an industrial complex. Your customers need urgent help, so it's working under the pressure and showing the EQ and that moment.
Yeah.
That's a big part of this. And by the time they graduate, they're not just qualified, they're confident. They understand both the business and people side of the stuff. So we're hoping it's a holistic start to these young professionals' lives.
When I attended the launch, you could see the energy levels was there and the eagerness to really to go into
Yeah.
this industry. So it was really great to see. Soul transformation is a central theme in your program. How intentional was OMI in designing a structure that promotes inclusion and diversity across the value chain?
Yeah, I mean, very intentional. Firstly, we had thousands of applicants who were under the age of 30,
Really?
and we can only take 60. Right?
Sure.
It does require funding, and we want to focus on quality over quantity. Right? So yeah, but transformation doesn't happen by chance. It has to be built into every layer of this program. And from the start, we prioritize underrepresented groups, especially Black female women or Black women, and partnered with organizations like INCITA, the Broker Development Trust, and the Gauteng Department of Economic Development to really remove barriers. I mean, a simple example I'll give you is we helped sponsor driver's licenses with our partnerships, right? Improving mobility. I mean, these youngsters don't own cars yet. This is their
Yeah.
first job, or some of them do, but most of them don't. It's their first job. So getting a driver's license is the start of this, right? So how can you be a broker if you don't have a driver's license? So
Well,
really, we're focusing on the small stuff and
yeah.
the big stuff, like getting them the technical knowledge and the EQ we discussed. And the results, over 70% of the first cohort were Black women. And that's not just a coincidence. That is, like I said, very intentional and by design.
Intentional.
Yeah.
Out of interest, and I know you probably haven't been part of every single step of the program, but you
Mhm.
mentioned that you really received a lot of applications. What are the key things that you looked at? Do they do a test, aptitude type of test, or what's some of the first layers that you used to cut out applicants?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously start with your CV, and there's a process that our HR team supported us with. This is really part of our business. This isn't some side program,
Yeah.
right? So we evaluated the CVs. We obviously whittled that down, and then there would be not a formal interview, but an interview process, and then we would select. So it's very difficult. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about the second cohort just now.
Okay.
But yeah, it really is like a job interview type of a process that we followed. Yeah.
Okay, the success of the
Yeah.
first cohort is a powerful statement. So, what are
Yeah.
some of the standout achievements or lessons from this very first experience?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Out of the 60 participants we took on, 52 graduated recently. That's the awards that you were part of a couple of weeks ago.
Yes,
And the great news is that 35 of them have moved into permanent roles within our advised broker
that's
network,
amazing. Sure.
and which is amazing. And others, have joined the claims team or a policy servicing team or the retentions team. Again, showing that this wasn't purely a broker advice kind of course. We opened their minds to the entire insurance value chain, and some of them said, "Listen, I actually want to go into these areas," and it shows how broad the training was, and we're super
Yes,
proud of it, man. 52 people placed. Yeah, excited about it. And what really stuck me was the hunger to learn and the
yeah,
discipline and the confidence they built over the 12 months. They've proven that when young people are given the right support, they don't just meet expectations, they exceed them.
yes,
And
yes,
it's inspiring to watch. I mean,
yeah,
you at the awards, the
yes. No,
energy in
it
that
was
room was
fantastic. Yeah,
unbelievable.
no, it was
100%. Yeah.
fantastic to see. So, the
Yeah.
second cohort now underway. What enhancements or new focus areas have been introduced to build on that moment that you started?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you always got to learn lessons, but to be honest with you, if we just copy paste, I'd be super happy with it.
Yeah.
But I think how we've evolved it is that there's a stronger focus on digital skills. I think with AI and data and everything going on, things are changing on a monthly, weekly basis, right?
Yeah.
So a little bit more on the digital side, data literacy, and just allowing them the space to kind of innovate, just innovative thinking kind of training, because a future broker needs to understand both, I think, people and technology, right?
Yeah.
So these guys are going to go into the world where AI is just, part of our lives, right? It's going to
Yeah.
become like us Googling, we
Yeah.
all kind of subconsciously or without thinking Google stuff. AI is going to be
Yeah.
just like that, right? So we've got to give them that. So we updating the program with that and keeping all the good stuff that, as we spoke about earlier. Um, Mentorship, we've expanded the mentorship, bringing in more leaders and creating a structured peer learning space for them. Um, so we also want to scale this thing, right? So a lot of this, in fact, all of the first cohort was focused on Gauteng. But we want to
Okay.
model this across the different provinces. It's going to take time. And also not just the broking discipline, right? So what we've realized is maybe we should think about underwriting where there's a shortage of skills. In
Yeah.
short-term insurance, there's a shortage of skills, right,
Yeah.
across the value chain. So do we
100%.
do we think about the other areas where there's a shortage of skill? That's another thought process that we're having. It's a little bit more difficult,
Yeah.
but yeah. So it goes beyond like our immediate business, right? It's about building a sustainable pipeline for the whole industry. So
Yeah.
whoever's sitting in my chair in 25 years, when they go out into the market, I hope that they run into these 52 characters and they're like, listen, I was at Old Mutual Insure in the academy in 2025, and so the story continues, right? Yeah, that's
That's
the hope.
amazing.
Yeah.
You've mentioned mentorship. It seems to be quite an important part of your initiative. So, how do mentors contribute to the growth and the confidence of these young professionals, and how are they selected specifically?
Yeah, so mentorship is absolutely the heartbeat of this program, and yeah, I think it's less selection on from our side and more we want them to volunteer, right? Because
Okay.
it is something that the leaders in OMI, they
Put
must
up their
want to do this,
hands.
and they do. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So obviously, if there's oversupply, we'll select, but yeah, it's also about technical depth, right? We need the technical depth regarding the value chain that you are mentoring on. And but for me, it's about having the heart to invest in others, right? That's what we're looking
Yeah.
for. These are not people who've walked the path, brokers, managers, leaders. They understand what it takes to build a career like this, right? So
And they
exactly what
are
we're
eager
looking
to,
for.
I've seen it. People are eager to mentor,
Yep.
people are eager to pay it forward. There's absolutely no shortage of that in our industry, most certainly.
100%. It's just critical that you show these graduates real world challenges that you've gone through, not the
Yeah.
theory, right? The theory we can all kind of figure out, right? It's about handling tough client conversations. It's about staying ethical under pressure. It's about just having that EQ when there's a crisis on the client side. And the results are amazing. Many of these mentee relationships will continue way
Yeah.
beyond these guys graduating Old Mutual Insure, right? That's how you build a network, a community. Um, yeah, it's not just a capability, it's a community
No,
that we want to build for these
for
guys. Yeah,
sure. Yeah, no, for sure. So
yeah.
looking ahead, how do you see this program shaping the future of the insurance broking profession, and what message would you give to brokers and companies considering similar investment in young talent? Partner with AMI.
Yeah, I mean, I think if all the big insurers do this, we could have easily 5, 6,000 graduates that have been trained in the short-term insurance industry. And listen, it's not just about the short-term insurance industry. We're
No,
focused on it because
yeah,
we're in the short-term insurance industry. But I see this program as the beginning of hopefully a movement, right? One that redefines what the South African insurance industry can look like, right? If we keep doing this right, the next decade of brokers will be more diverse, more digitally kind of able and more connected than ever before to our country, right? So that's it. And my message to other companies out there, yeah, don't wait for transformation. I guess lead it. It's 50 people. Just think about it. If we go to a couple of hundred this year, that's possibly 1,000 brokers out there or 1,000 qualified individuals out there just from Old Mutual Insure. Multiply that by 10 other companies that do this, and we're at 10,000. And that's a movement, you know. So yeah, when we empower young professionals, we secure the future of our industry, you know, and that's what we want to do.
And actually, I know we all know this, but it goes far beyond that. We inevitably educating people about such an important element, and that is finances and insurance, while you're taking them
100%.
through the process of starting a career,
Yeah.
and they're having those conversations within their own families and one day with their kids. So it's the start of a whole new generation of people that would say, maybe this is an industry that I can actually work in, and I understand it now better. So it's a
100%. Yeah.
big ripple effect, actually. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
well done, Sol, and well done for not just thinking about the idea, but taking it forward and just rolling with it. I mean, AMI's amazing company. They are really big in investment in talent. So we know that from TIA's side as well. So well done to you and to the team for really making a difference.
Yeah, I think, listen, I'm just the face that gets to talk about this. I think there's a whole lot of people in this business in Old Mutual Insure and the industry, all the partners that we've got on this program. So thank you. Yeah, let's just keep going with the momentum we've built.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and well done.
Thanks, Rianet.